Jamie Raskin, named his son Tommy after Thomas Paine. Congressman Raskin told us at the beginning of the Senate trial that he buried his 25-year-old son Tommy the day before the Trump mob attacked the Capitol. And so, in a powerfully poignant final moment on the Senate floor today, you could feel Congressman Raskin's two favorite Thomases standing with him as he quoted Thomas Paine in his last line.
The more difficult the struggle, the more glorious in the end will be our victory. Good luck in your deliberations.
The more difficult the struggle. Jamie Raskin could not have a more difficult struggle than trying to convince Republican senators to hold the Constitution and their oaths of office above their public fealty to Donald Trump. The more difficult the struggle. Jamie Raskin is facing another struggle with astonishing dignity and grace. Norm Ornstein, who lost his son Matthew when Matthew was 34, wrote this today. When I lost my son, I was in a fog for weeks, nearly paralyzed with grief. To imagine that Representative Raskin has not just gotten up every day, but has done this masterclass in constitutional law, philosophy, logic, patriotism, and more with eloquence, force, passion. My God, what a hero. Yes, there are heroes in that room, but there are more cowards in that room. And those heroes are speaking directly to those cowards in the noble hope of trying to change their minds. They are not trying to turn cowards into heroes. They are trying to turn cowards into minimally decent human beings for the first time since those cowards surrendered themselves completely to Donald Trump. Congressman Raskin told the cowards what they should be listening for tomorrow when Donald Trump's lawyers speak in his defense.
We would pose these preliminary questions to his lawyers, which I think are on everyone's minds right now, in which we would have asked Mr. Trump himself if he had chosen to come and testify about his actions and inactions when we invited him last week. One, why did President Trump not tell his supporters to stop the attack on the Capitol as soon as he learned of it? Why did President Trump do nothing to stop the attack for at least 2 hours after the attack began? As our constitutional commander-in-chief, why did he do nothing to send help to our overwhelmed and besieged law enforcement officers for at least 2 hours on January 16th after the attack began? On January 6th, why did President Trump not at any point that day condemn the violent insurrection and the insurrectionists?
Donald Trump didn't just refuse to condemn them. He told them that he loves them.
When they, the police, still barricaded and being attacked with poles, he said in his video to the people attacking them, "We love you. You're very special." What more could we possibly need to know about President Trump's state of mind?
When Donald Trump put out that video saying "we love you" to the Trump mob attacking the Capitol, he had already seen them on television attacking police officers. And he still said, "We love you." And he never said, "We love you" to the police officers. He never said, "You are very special" to the Capitol Police. He has never said one word of regret about the murder of Officer Brian Sicknick by the Trump mob. Not one word of sympathy from Donald Trump about Officer Brian Sicknick, killed by the Trump mob. And what did Donald Trump mean when he said, "We love you"? Who is the we? Does the we include the Republican cowards in the Senate? We will find out when they vote on the verdict in this trial. That vote will tell us if they love the Constitution or if they love Donald Trump or whatever Donald Trump loves more than the Constitution, including the mob who invaded the Senate chamber, where they all sat today. We've always known that Donald Trump was lying every single time he told you how much he loves the police, but now we know that the Republican cowards in the Senate and the House have always been lying about their support for police.
Listen to how the Trump mob talked to these officers. You heard that with your own ears. Effing traitor. So much for back in the blue. Just a couple more examples. They called law enforcement officers traitors. You have to wonder, who are these rioters sworn to? To whom do they believe the police owe their loyalty?
Of course, all that profanity was not bleeped live on the Senate floor today when that was played, and all those profane words will appear in print in the congressional record where they will live forever. The Trump mob and the Trump cowards in the House of Representatives and the Senate do not care about police because they don't care what happened to those police officers on January 6th. The Trump cowards in the House of Representatives and the Senate do not care that Donald Trump got Capitol Police officers killed by that mob. How many Capitol Police officers does it take to separate the Trump cowards in the House and the Senate from Donald Trump? We don't know. While Donald Trump was watching the Capitol being invaded on live television, he tweeted this: Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent, inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth, exclamation point. And that tweet was one of the many smoking guns that the House managers exhibited today.
And the fact that he didn't stop it, the fact that he incited a lawless attack and abdicated his duty to defend us from it, the fact that he actually further inflamed the mob, further inflamed that mob, attacking his vice president while assassins were pursuing him in this Capitol, more than requires conviction and disqualification.
Our first guest tonight tried to preside over the House of Representatives and keep the House in session after Speaker Pelosi was rushed out of